Welcome everybody to the warm-up show with the co-host, Frenchy directly from the Miami area, Sunshine State, and welcome back also the co-host directly from Toronto, Ontario, number one fans of the Montreal Canadiens, Aka Bob Gainey. Welcome back Enortap in the house today.
Hello, Coach, and hello, Hockey Nation.
Thank you, everybody. Welcome, everybody. We have we have our best friend from Finland with Yamo, but we have today the Wizard. We call him the Veleo back in the house today with us. I'm good to my keyboard because I'm good starting the horn, so I don't want to start the horn. We have the swimmer, the swimmer from Vegas, number one fans of the Vegas Golden Knight. We should ask him to become a collaborator of the Hockey Nation Live show. He brings all the news about Vegas. He should have his own 10-15 minutes per week with us in our tap and talking about the Vegas Golden Knight. That'd be awesome if he can do it. We do not ask him right now. We do not talk about this to him right now. It's just between you and me in our tap. So I'm sure he will never know about what we just asked him to do. But honestly, welcome back, Mr. Adam Bergie Burger. Another great day of hockey. Of course, yesterday the big news was all about the Chicago Blackhawks. Yesterday about Stan Bowman and everything, the $2 million and everything like that. Tonight at Sports Center, or I think in Canada it's called Sports Center, or the
Sports Center
TV show or whatever they call it. The player is going to be on the TV. So the one they call Joe Doe is going to be live with the interview tonight. So that's the big news of the day. I don't know if it's at 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock today, but is open now to talking about that story, everything like that. So there's big news, honestly. And it's still after that, you have the aftermath. What, we have to figure out with Joel Kenville is going to be in New York tomorrow to meet Gary Bettman. A little bit surprised. They meet only Kevin. I don't know is because the Canada, USA traveling, everything like that, but they meet only the general manager of the Winnipeg Jet only Monday next week. So
that's a shovel day off?
Shovel day off, yeah. So I don't know what's the problem about that. It will be interesting to see that. Of course, we have directement de Sherbrooke, de la belle région, de la belle province de Québec, Monsieur Nicolas de Goubi-Bono. Video ask you, where is your glasses?
Oh, good point. Hang on. There we go.
Here we go. Now I'm more.
Don't want to disappoint.
Now I'm more ugly I was before that. So that's not good news. Directly from Moncton, New Brunswick, number one fans of Montreal Canadiens. I'm sure he feels the same pain I have right now. Mr. Johnny Golden, come on down. I'm going to find his sound effect. The Price is Right, and it's going to play every time we said Johnny, come on down. We're going to use that one over there. Or maybe the voice of the guy does, come on down. We're going to use this one for there. Directly from Finland, where we see Veleo, now we see another one. Of course, we're talking about Mr. Yamo Vertanen. Boy.
The wizard.
Coach, the passion that Michael had this morning was very powerful and eye-opening. Because when you work and you travel, for years after years, you see so many stories hiding and not mentioned and abusing players and by the words, everything like that, or some coaches abuse the kid about fun ways. For many years prior, now we have a safety saver. The safety sport was safe sport or sport safe, something like that. I don't know that you have another words I'm trying to figure out. But you cannot do all kinds of stuff like this. You have to check your background and the implement a lot of more, the protection for the kids, and you have to get all this fun module. You have to check on webinar. You have to check a lot of tests before you become a coach now. It's the same thing now for parents as a general manager. It's the same thing for the referee. Same thing for coaches. Everybody involved around those kids. They have now a different program and protection. Like in the locker room, a coach cannot be by himself anymore. So they bring a lot more, and plan a lot of the rules around that. And I think that's a great way about that one over there. Of course, all what he said in the past happening with Thierry Fleury. And it started a long time ago, guys. In 1970, started with Alan Eggleston, abuse, it's fun thing like that as an agent for Bobby Orr. Everything, and he can go all the way. You have a lot of fraud on the like Bruce McNabb, owners of Los Angeles King, and I can go like this all night long talking about this. But you can see, like Michael, he was more involved with the passion about, because he been there. He knows what's going on around this and any level. Today we talk about NHL, but this happened at 8 years old, 10 years old, and Colorado is one of the biggest state, and bring that kind of safety for the kids. So I understand, Adam. I agree with you. He's a wizard, said Yamo. Daddy is 8 weeks and walk out of the season. Yeah, we're going to talk about this. Harry Potter look alike. Not feeling as much pain, coach, because I took my mother-in-law to the airport today. That's maybe I should bring, I don't know, someone around here at the airport. Maybe that will helping me a bit. And I thought the season of the injury of the Hall of Fame players is unbelievable, Adam said about this. Roger Delaney back in the house right now.
Coach, it's really it's a different society today, and this is in no way or means to minimize what happened in this case 11 years ago, but I think we've moved forward in terms of putting in some measures that help, as you were mentioning, in terms of checks. I know it's the same thing in coaching. It's the same thing in education nowadays. You have to have a criminal checkup. You have to have all sorts of references. And, I think it's all for the best, because if we don't guard our youth, I mean, they're our future. And you can't do this to somebody, because it changes their life forever.
Absolutely.
You can be fined. You can be fined. You can be suspended. Be kicked out of organizations, and that doesn't even measure up to what the victim has gone through.
I agree with you about that one. Welcome back, Mr. Alexis Scout Dubik. Alexis is a big scout for the hockey. He loves to talk about the prospect, everything like that, and he has sometimes friend surprise pick. But we love to have Alexis Dubik in the house today. Here we go. Alexis, who is going to be the next Stan Bowman for Chicago Blackhawks? Let us know. I'll just follow up with you, Enortap. I think, it's unbelievable to hiding this, a major case like that, for years and years without talking about this. That's what my biggest shock or surprise about that. And if the TSN reporter, I think it was Richard, if I can recall his first name, never talk about this. Maybe this story could be for 20, 25 years. So it would be interesting to, that open up everything. That would, like the mental health, the hockey culture, they talk about everything like that. So more we talk, better it is, right? And hopefully, if ever happens somewhere, somehow, the people should not be afraid to open up the talk about this, everything like that. So it's a really, really interesting. This Ray Sherrill gonna replace Bowman. Ray Sherrill.
I was just gonna add, Coach. It's not surprising at all. I mean, at one point that's what the mentality and the philosophy in not just hockey but many other sports was. It's to sweep these things under the carpet. So we're hearing of a couple cases. I know Maple Leaf organization had a couple of instances like this as well. This is just, I think, the tip of the iceberg. I think that there's been other cases that we have never heard about and probably never will. So that we're implementing measures to assist and protect our youth is wonderful now, and I think that that's the direction we have to move in.
I agree with you about this, Enortap. I'll be honest with you, Alexi. What do you think about this, Enortap? Mr. Alexi is a big bring a name there. Richero.
Wow, that's a name from the past.
But Richero, he was with
Bowman.
the Pittsburgh like last year.
Yeah, in a minimized capacity. You know what? I'd rather see somebody a little bit younger, you know, assume that role. I think you hit the nail on the head the other day that it seems that a lot of the players today they respond to people that they can associate with more, like that old mentality. You know, the old Tortorella, even Bowman, Scotty Bowman days would not work in today's society, where you're pounding your players to death and keep doing exercises after exercises. You have to first get through to the person before that person can give to your team. And you see it even in Montreal. I think that that's the biggest gap happening right now is they're not responding to the coach, these players. It's you look at Montreal and I ask you the question: is this an example of a bad team or a team that's playing badly? And I think it's the latter. So,
Yeah,
question is, what's causing that?
I agree with you about that one over there. First of all, I apologize. I said the Penguins, but I was thinking about Jim Rutherford. To
Oh,
mention
Rutherford.
Jim
Okay,
Rutherford also. So when you mentioned this, he said Shero, then I made the connection with Rutherford for the Pittsburgh. But Shero was with
yeah,
the Devils a couple of years ago. But
gotcha.
I think Jim Rutherford could be another one over there, could be and consider over there. I think, I don't know, my pick, Dean Lombardi.
I mean, even Babcock's name came up this morning. I heard.
I don't see
You know,
Backup as a general manager,
I don't either.
not at all there.
I don't see it either.
Now he talked about John Schenka. I think Schenka is going to be locked or never be rehired. I think he have to go back at the ladder. So I don't see him to pick up a job right away as a head coach. I think he's going to be a little bit later, wait a little bit more, assistant GM or something like that before he get a job. I believe in NHL.
Yeah,
I'll be
I
much
would agree
surprised
with
about
that.
that one over there. First of all, we forgot to say hello, not to he, but she is Mean Girl Hockey back in the house. I learned my lesson. I learned my lesson. She said, I'm not he, I'm she. Got it.
That's
I got
it.
it, coach. Remember everything. This school year, gentlemen, I got into the principal office because a teacher reported me to and they thought I broke the trust, the student and teacher. It's happened. I've been report myself with someone else. And those days, it's easy to report someone to the safety sport. Last season, it's happened to me. Probably the same parents complaining about me. And at the end of the day, I went to safety sport. And they expressed to me this. And every time, at the end of the story, it was not me, it was a kid. So at the end of the meeting, I wonder one was I get out this with more flowers on my side at what he said, wow, this should be coached all the time. What the heck's going on here? And now they figure out it was the blaming of the parents, tried to protect the kids, but the kid threw the stick over the bench. The kid talked bad mouth to the other team. The kid does this and the kid does that. But because they got a report for the parents, they go
They
straight to
have
the
to
coach.
check.
So sometimes they have to go on the both sides. That's why I make a meeting. Then at the end of the day, they realize, wait a minute, that's not right to do that. So anyways, a short story, but yes, that's happening about this. And the picture of Marc Bergevin and Shea Weber sitting next to each other goes to show you how much Marc cares for his player. I will really lose 50 games and have a coach and GM who care. Marc Bergevin, he showed it by his behavior. He not only, walk to walk, he talk to talk also. Talk to talk and walk to walk, honestly. He proved it, and he continues to prove it. And for him, it's the more important thing. So we can blame him, but at the end of the day, the Montreal Canadiens is going to miss a really good GM, not on the result of the outcome of the score and the W and everything like that, but as a GM for human being, what the players appreciate to have the support, not from the coach, but all the way to the top over there. So that's what it is. I agree with you. Me, I see Chenkok as a GM for Montreal. Alexei, the problem you're going to get, he does not speak French, and nowhere and no how they're going to get someone with no language, a second language, whatever is a second language for him. He will not. So John, he will have to learn French first. He maybe should ask his sister, where I would like to have a date with his sister, but that's another story. We can talk about this one day. Where she owned the companies called the STAtlantic.com, one of the biggest analytic hockey in the world. That's what John, his brother, learned about all the analytics behind this. So if you heard about what's her first name? I try to remember her first name. She's at the top 100 people influence in NHL, by the way. The STAtlantics.com. That's what her website about this. She create a lot of analytics everything on that. So want between that part over there. But I met her and I speak to her. But she didn't want to go out with me. Just kidding. I did not invite her. That's another story. Johnny Golden, excellent point in our top. There are many excellent players on the Avs, but they just have not responding to Ducharme at that moment. That's what he said, Johnny. That's another thing about that. You have something we don't know. But again, I think, at the beginning we did not mean it, but more longer, Marc Bergevin don't have no contract. We are not going to be on the right track. It's going to be a zigzag season, everything like that, until Josh Molson, you have two choices what Josh Molson have to do for the next 4 weeks. I don't know next week, I don't know in 2 weeks, right? But if Montreal's coming back with 0-4 next week, something will happen. And I think Molson have to take that decision. Let go Bergevin, fire him, or give him a contract and ask him, how much do you want? And sign a contract, and let's rebuild now for the next 5 years, whatever it is. But you cannot leave your GM at that moment with indecision or not sure. And that would be the uncertainty. That's why something happened now for the Montreal Canadiens for sure. I report the incident to the Child Protective Service, and the school tried to hide it. Yes, that's happened also to the flip side. It was funny because at the beginning, my director of hockey was not sure what to do. But at the end, once during the meeting, it was nice. But you never know. Too old Lombardi, Sheka is young, Alexei. But I see she got to replace Sheka is the fire Timmins to replace Timmins. I think if it's happened in Montreal, it's going to be a cleanup, I believe. They will not leave any more Timmins if it's happening. So everybody will be fired at some point. It's not going to be only one at a time. I think they're going to leave it go. I wish if I really believe it's happening right now, but I really believe that their GM is already inside the box right now. It's Scott Millenby. But unfortunately, he cannot speak English and French. And that's a problem because Scott Millenby is a really, 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 really well-known by other GM job in NHL. Remember, he was in Florida. Montreal did not let the permission to Florida talk to him. So just gave you, and he does now a more job. Like Mike Bergeron said last week, he gave a lot of responsibility right now at Scott Millenby to control a lot of things in the hockey operation. So I believe that would be the right one if I have to pick one, whatever it is. I think Montreal Canadiens have to go and talk about hockey culture. It's not about the language anymore. What about the guys who speak Sweden or Spanish? gave the best of the best for your organization at that moment. And, so it would be interesting to see that. Dash would be high on the list, but maybe see Patrick Roy. That would be my next one over there. If we cannot get Millenby, I think a combination of Scott Millenby with Matthew Dash could be great. For me, I think the right way, I would be the right combination, Johnny, about that one over there. People bring me Patrick Roy. It would not be my pick, but again, if he does it, it would be the GM. I would support, but it would be really interesting about this. I want Tyler Wright as a GM. Tyler Wright. I don't know. Who's Tyler Wright?
I don't know.
You don't know? Anyhow, anyway, anybody want to mention anything, want to talk about anything, it's time to talk. This is until time. Let's move on to what's going on happening yesterday, or any news you want to talk about today, or more about the game yesterday. First of all, we have, me and you, the worst prediction hockey happening since the beginning of the year. We are off completely. Hopefully nobody's listening to us. Director are scouting for Edmonton. I hope they don't hire Roy as GM. Johnny said about this. Edmonton, Alexis, yeah, possible. I don't know if the Edmonton will let it go. Yeah. You talk maybe about Timmins situation, Alexis, possible on that moment right there. I don't think so as a GM, but it would be interesting to see that. Enortap, anything you want Coach, to mention about reviewing a little bit yesterday? Or
well, yeah, I'll add to that as well. I'm just, it's always kind of irked me. I get that. Obviously, it's in Quebec, the Canadiens, and they want to have a French-speaking GM in that position, but you severely reduce your field of potential either coaches or GMs that bring a lot to the table. You mentioned Mellenby. That's an excellent choice. This guy's been around the organization for years. He knows the ins and outs. He's learned from the best. And to me, the fact that he doesn't speak French and it eliminates him from the bunch, it's a severe penalty to pay. I wish they would overlook that. I think the onus should be more on the province or the reporters to maybe speak English to the coach or to the general manager, if that's what the situation is, but not the other way around. And, I apologize to any Quebecers that I may offend with that, but it's just my opinion. I think you have to go always for the best candidate that's available.
Faye said, 801, welcome aboard, by the way. I think it's the first time we saw you here, so welcome if you are the first time. If not, welcome back. I like you, eagle, or you bird, about this one over there. He said Mellenby does speak French. Great to hear that.
That would be good.
That'd be great to see that. Thanks to the information, by the way. If you're not subscribed, we would like you to subscribe. If you are, welcome back. If everybody, each one of you, if you can click on the like, that'd be awesome. We appreciate that. Does McPhee speak French? Josh McPhee, hopefully he can stay in Vegas, Adam. So. That'd be great. Well, it's about 5:30. Let's jump in about the game, what's going on, a couple of news happening right now. So let's move on to the next thing we have to do about that. And the first thing we want to mention to you guys is, maybe you did not see this, but we have a live stream tonight. My first game with the Florida Panthers tonight against the Boston Bruins. I was supposed to be at the game with my friend, but I did not go. I decided to stay here and to do the Florida Panthers. So 7 o'clock tonight, I'll be back live to do the Florida Panthers. Then I will go to the next game after that. The Wednesday Enortap is the double header TNT. So I'm going to follow up a little bit more after that. The Edmonton play tonight as a team I like to watch at that moment. So that will happen about this. The second one I want to mention to you guys, I was not happy this morning. Coach was angry. He was upset. And I spoke about embarrassing. I hide all my jersey, Canadiens Montreal. I put a jersey out of the condominium today. Threw this in the parking lot. Nobody picked it up, by the way. But I talk about the reason why I'm embarrassing, what is happening there. And it's a short video, a short video, a little bit longer video I was expected, but with the graphic and everything I spoke, everything like that, I gave a little bit a couple information about what I believe right now for the Montreal Canadiens. So I just you have the time to watching this video. It's right now live. Here we go. The next thing I want to talk about this. It's a new. We're going to give you all the news happening during the day. We talk about this morning. The NHL safety gave a fine at Piquet Subban, $5,000 on the tripping on again Milan Lucic. They have already a story in Enortap between both players long time ago when Lucic played with the Boston Bruins in the playoff between Montreal and the Boston where, they was looking each other. So that's the story between Piquet and Lucic. So $5,000 for Piquet Subban. That'd be awesome. News finally. Harmonic report to the Canucks, Vancouver Canucks, is going to be a couple of weeks with the AHL Abbotsford or something like that at the British Columbia. So he's going to report at the AHL for 2 weeks. We expect him to join the organization. I think that's a great news for them. Good for him to step up and come back in the hockey. I think he's not an amazing great player, but he fit well inside that organization. And I think he can bring physicality, everything like that. So he's a great 5, 5 with defense, 5 with 6 over there. I think that's a good pick to get him back. Crosby could return tomorrow night. Expect Sidney Crosby with the Penguins. The rumor get out very quickly today from an article in Penn's newspaper. So that'd be good. Bad news for the Tampa Bay. Kucherov is out for 8 to 10 weeks, like Enortap said earlier. It's a LBI. What is LBI, coach? It's a lower body injury. Not mentioned exactly where, but it's not like a knee or a foot. It's more about a groin area. You can see when he was bent over when he got out of the penalty of the ice last time he got hurt. It was funny. He was pushed. Did you see that? The opponent team pushed him.
I remember seeing that play.
Yep. So that'll be out about that one over there. COVID-19 hit the Blackhawks in Enortap. I can give you the list of the players not going to play tonight. Yeah. We have Jonathan Toews, Patrick Kane, Henrik Backstrom. Is it Roddy Stillman? I think it's Roddy Stillman.
Yeah.
Kara is out. And then also Jimmy Wade, the coach, and Mike Crawford, the coach, is out for the game tonight. Again, the Toronto Maple Leafs. And now we just heard about 30 minutes ago, bad news for the Minnesota Wild. The COVID is inside the team at that moment. 2 coach is out, and Bill Guerin is at home over there. But I don't believe Bill Guerin had the COVID. He become, I don't know, nobody talk about this. He's right now an assistant GM at that moment for the last 10 days since the investigation is back about the situation with Gerard Scaldi and the wife and the assistant coach abused her in the car, but he was not involved, but he was in the car. So that's another story to follow up about this one. So he's become now an assistant GM for the time, the investigation. That was reported today by the Minnesota Wild. So we don't know if player has it, but it'll be another story to have to be careful for the next couple of days, everything like that. Blake Wheeler is out of the COVID protocol 19. This is about 2 weeks in Enortap. He was touching. He missed a couple of games for them. Great news for the Dallas Star. The rookie nomination last season finished second. Robinson back on the ice tonight. So I think it would be a great for them to get him. I like that. And then Curtis Lazar could be in the lineup tonight. Is a game decision about this. And then finally, two other news about this. And I have the graphic. I put the old graphic. I add 2 more news about this. The Los Kings guys start with a 1W at the beginning of the year. Now they struggle. They just lost 2 important players, 2 defensemen. Sean Walker is going to be out of the lineup for the rest of the year with the LCL. I think Adam mentioned about this. And then Drew Doughty is going to be out for a minimum of 6 to 8 weeks. Another major problem. And then Adam talk about, major players have really a lot of injuries about them. But Enortap, any news of them, anything you can talk or you want to talk about?
That's really tough on LA. I mean, they already had their work cut out for them in terms of being a young team trying to retool. Missing Doughty, who had gotten off to a great start. I hope this doesn't affect him in terms of Team Canada when he comes back as well. That he'll get himself back into shape and be ready for that. I know he would hate missing that. The injuries are part of the game. At the end of the day, they're part of the game, coach. You have to build your team so that even when a key player goes down, next person has to step in and pick up the slack. And as a team, and I heard Sullivan being in Pittsburgh being interviewed a couple days ago, and he said, we miss our big players, obviously, but what happens is when these guys are out of your lineup, you have to instill a belief and a system where these players are going to work harder, knowing that that's the only chance that they have. If they go in with the same mentality as when their stars are there, the results are not going to be there because clearly you're missing stars. But if you can put in that extra effort, a loose puck and you beat somebody to it, or you get an extra hit, or you make an extra save, at the end of the day, that's what's going to make the difference between you winning and losing, or at least coming close, even if you don't win, but at least playing a good game.
Yeah, I agree with you about that one over there. Welcome back, Mr. Roger. And Roger said that to you. What do you think about this, Mark Hunter?
Oh, Mark Hunter, I think it would be great. I agree with that 100%.
I
I
agree
think
with you about that.
he's been around that for a number of years, so he knows his trade for sure.
Coach said, Roger said I was hard on Zuski. I thought it was very nice, too much nice about him. No, not really. I understand your point of view, Roger. It's just like as a major keep, he's the next generation of Montreal Canadiens. We need leadership. He played better yesterday, but he had a really bad game. Yesterday was really Jonathan Drouin. It was really, really off yesterday. He had at least three passes on Niku on the power play, the second power play from the hash mark. He cannot go tape to tape. It was unbelievable about this, Roger, but it's a team concept right now.
And
About
and
this,
Romanov too, coach. Romanov was just horrible out there last night. He has lost all his confidence. He
oh
doesn't
yeah,
he doesn't hit anymore because he feels he's going to overcommit. He doesn't get involved in the play. When he does, he loses the puck. And defensively, you can't do that. You have to go back to the basics, as you've mentioned a number of times.
yep.
Stick to the little things that eventually got you there, and that'll spell a little bit of success.
As a member of the Hockey National Show tonight, you're going to get an email, and then watch the video I did. It's a 45 second, one on power play and one on PK, and one on PK exactly what Romanov. And Romanov does not want to go down to block the shot.
No,
So that gives you an idea what when you don't want to pay the price, you're not going to be in the league for a long time over there. So really disappointed about Romanov. And this start not this year. This start at the middle of the year last season. He started to go down and down, and he finished very badly during the season, the last 15, 20 game, and then continues during the playoff. You have to figure out something with him because not looking good. And I have a question before we go to prediction about the trade over there. What do you thought on Nicolas Hog, maybe Stone in the first round or in the second round pick for Eichel?
oh, that's a steep price. I mean, Stone. I love Mark Stone. I would not want to see him leave. And Eichel is, to me, Eichel right now is a huge gamble for whatever team takes him. Whatever contract, whoever does end up getting him, whatever contract they come up with, there has to be some conditional stipulation in that contract that if for whatever reason he can't play or is disabled from playing, they can't be held liable for the contract that he's going to incur, that team. So, it's a huge gamble. I understand that he's a top 10, probably even top 6 in the league when he's on his game. But at this point, we don't know much about this type of surgery, the fusion surgery, and we don't know how he's going to react to this. And he's not going to be instrumental in helping Vegas this year, at least by the time he gets the operation and then is going into a strict conditioning stint. It's going to take a long while before he gets into his routine.
Two things for me. First, you don't trade Stone, you trade Pacioretty. You have a choice between both of them. I go with Pacioretty. I will let and keep Mark Stone is more available for my eyes compared to Pacioretty. He's more like a one-way player. If I have a choice about that one over there. But I'm back again. What it will be the point to trade for Jack Eichel at that moment, because you don't get him for the full year. I don't get it. Secondly, the chance, what's the chance he become the same Jack Eichel? Now you're going to lose 1-2 players. You have maybe no players involved, or maybe a player is already out for injury for the rest of the year, like he mentioned, and then after that he get only picks. So I don't know. I heard a Feldman talk about 3 teams right now in the race. I don't get it. I don't know why those teams will trade for Jack Eichel at that moment. Maybe I missed a piece of the puzzle. I don't understand or I don't know yet. But why the point to trade for Jack Eichel at that moment?
I think it's desperation, Coach. That's the only thing I can come up with.
Yeah. Well, this was a really bad one over there, Adam. Fleury for nothing. This is one of the worst about that one over there. Good evening, Dan Asham. Thanks for joining us. No problem, buddy. And I know we're going to talk about them, but if I was Toronto Maple Leaf right now, I trade Morgan Riley right now. If I'm Dallas, I trade John Kember. If they are not coming back, it's time to trade them right now. Because my point to you is they lost already Hyman last season for nothing. They lost Anderson for nothing. So why you lose your UFA for nothing? And I think Toronto should be, because they're not going to move their 4 core, whatever they are. If they have to do something, I think they should trade Morgan Riley or something like that. I think that would be something to look about this on my eyes. Mr. Vallejo said, Adam, that Fleury trade for nothing was so bad for them. Absolutely right. I agree with you. Mr. Minsk, whatever, is welcome aboard. Thanks for joining us. Canadian Giants. We miss the Canadian Giants. It's 41 minutes behind. Well, we welcome you, buddy. We love you. Thanks for stopping by. I agree with you, Johnny. His value dropped a little bit about this. Like Chariot coach trade him at the trade deadline. Absolutely right now. Everything like that. Or maybe shaking, everything like that. It could have something happening next week for the Montreal Canadiens. But otherwise, I'm not sure what will happen about this. But it would be interesting to follow up with the situation. Talking about situation, let's move on. We're supposed to go there. Finally, we get there. And let's talking about the prediction of the game tonight. We have 5 games on the program, guys. We're going to give you the fantasy hockey at the end. We give you all the injuries. And now you're going to get a goaltending starter for the game tonight. And you're going to be ready for your fantasy hockey, everything like that. Boston, Florida, 2 teams doing well since the beginning of the year. Ulmark confirmed. Bobrovsky is confirmed. Here we go. The expert in our tap talking about that.
Well, I don't know. After last night, definitely not an expert. I see we're both tied again now, Coach, with our records.
On the perception on the ice, I always said a number give other perspective in life. If you sell something at 100, but you put this on 97, people buy more at 97 at 100, right? Last night I finished 3-4, and you finished 2-5, right? I look great at 3-4. But again, it's not a great night. But I feel like he looks worse at 2-5 versus 3-4.
You're absolutely right.
Not talking against you. It's just like the perspective of numbers sometimes make everybody different about that one over there. Panthers could use guys like Raleigh and Clember. I don't know what the trade for them. I'll be honest with you, Vallejo. I would not touch those defensemen for the Panthers. Not because you're not right. They have those kind of players right now. I believe they're looking more, and they should get something like John Manson for the Anaheim Ducks. I believe that will be a great asset for the Jan Cole should be the right one, but unfortunately with Carolina. Sorry, Enortap, I cut you again. I cut everybody all the time. But
it's okay. I was just going to throw a name out for you for Florida. What do you think about Sherrod?
That's another one over there. That's the one you should get about this is a left wing. It would be fine. Top 5 is only $3.5 million. And Montreal could get in return Frank Van Ettel.
Yeah.
And you know what? Both teams. I'm sorry again?
Sorry?
What you said?
No, I was saying you're absolutely right about that. It would definitely work out for both teams.
Both teams right now win at the end of the day.
Yeah, I agree.
Both teams win. Edmonton's coming back. The team's not going nowhere. You get a great fast skater, play wing a little bit, and play wing, can play center if you need to. I think he covered the third center over there. I think for both, there's a great way over there. I think I'm going to call Bill Zito. I will be back.
So let's move on to our predictions for the day then, I guess. Here, Boston and Florida, this is the game I'm really looking forward to seeing tonight. Top scorers right now are Marchand for Boston, and I believe it's Bennett for Florida right now. It's a good test for both teams. Like they've been playing really well, and they play again on Saturday, so you can sort of anticipate some hostility tonight, and perhaps it'll build up and carry over to Saturday's game in Boston. One interesting fact here, Coach, I looked it up today, and Bobrovsky is 3-7-2 with a goals against average of 395 against the Bruins. So I know that's a different Bobrovsky because this year he's looked dynamite. But I almost would have thrown Spencer Knight in tonight, Anyways, expect a close game that I think might just get decided in overtime. But I think Florida will pull it through at 3-2.
All right, 4-3, 3-2 there. Yamo, I got your score 4-3 overtime. Butter Monkey back in the house. And also Alan Barnes in the house. Also, welcome both of you. Thanks for joining us. Butter Monkey, I don't know if you was listening us during the time. Maybe you're between some food and everything like that, dinner time here in Florida. Butter Monkey, what do you think about the Montreal Canadiens trade Ben Chariot versus, again, Frank Van Ettel? Are you agree or not? And we can move on what we have to talk about. Easy, me, it's same thing like that, but I go with that one over there. Butter Monkey said 3-1 for the Florida Panthers. So 4-2 for me about that one there. I just want to mention this is a back-to-back. It's going to be a little bit ugly if it's something turn around bad. But my only thing I will add of that, the impact of CANVA or the drama or the situation, the consequence of CANVA can have an impact on the players. I don't know. But it's something we have to look about this tonight. Detroit, Washington. Detroit 3-2-1. Surprise so far. Washington 4-0-2. Did not lose since the beginning of the year. Vanecek confirmed. Thomas Kreese confirmed. And what do you think about this? Not many injury about this. H1Ek is back in the lineup tonight. And we no news about Backstrom.
Here you have, I guess, Bertuzzi with 6 goals and Ovechkin, who's now at 7 goals that are your leading scorers there. So that should be an interesting continuation. Hopefully they continue that way. Washington has really played some steady and heavy, imposing styles on teams to date anyways. And I don't see that changing tonight, especially at home. Detroit's first line is really rolling, but they're struggling to get that secondary scoring as well, even though their defense has been solid. But in the end, here I'm going to take Washington to win this game 4-2.
4-2 on that one over there. You can put your score, guy. I start to collect all the score over there, so I just want to let you know about that one over there, so we can compare your score the next day. I go with Capitals also, but I add one more goal. I think Washington. He said Yamo 5-2. I go 5-2 tonight. Both need a W. He said about he talked about Toronto and Chicago. Kato said night tonight, but I think Kato, for what I heard this morning from the press conference from CANVA was confirmed was Bob Bobrovsky. Now Bad Monkey said Bobrovsky. So I'm not sure if something happened between this morning and tonight, but I expect Bobrovsky between the pipe tonight. Toronto, Chicago, two of them. One's going to swimming very well tonight, and we're going to sleep well, and one team's going to be not very nice and not very sleep good. And I believe this is going to be worse. And if they already have a bad week, that would just increase what's going on with there with the COVID-19, missing 5 players, the injuries, the Fleury case, the Seljon case, and everything like that, the Bowman, everything like that is getting worse and worse for there. Toronto is not better, but I believe this is a turnaround of Toronto. I believe you're going to see Toronto win the next 4 games on my highs. Campbell versus Lankinen. Campbell was not confirmed, likely. Lankinen was confirmed. 0-5-1 and 2-4-1 Toronto. Enortap, is your turn.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to point out 2 things here, Coach. For the Leafs, Spezza is your top scorer with 3 goals. I mean, that should speak volumes right there. When your most veteran player on the 4th line is producing the most. If they don't get their top line going, they're not going to go very far, because defensively, right now, they're a mess. They're probably at the same level Montreal is in defensively. With Chicago, I'm going to sum it up in one thing. How many games have they played now? They're 0-5-1.
Yeah,
they have not had a lead in 6 games.
Yeah, no lead at all. They are the only team in the NHL did not take the lead so far.
Yep. And that just speaks volumes. And like you said, when you couple that with the litigation problems that they're having, and now COVID's come into the picture as well. I mean, I agree with you. I think that it should be easy pickings for Toronto. One interesting fact, Coach, if you look at the analytics, right, Toronto leads the league in expected goals.
Yep.
All right. But the problem is they haven't converted these opportunities into goals. And that's at the hands of guys like Marner. It's at the hands of guys like Matthews, obviously.
But with time, it will happen. They are too much players. So if you're like Montreal, if you look at my video today, they have only 5 shots in the middle of the ice yesterday. Right?
That's right.
And they don't have that kind of offensive. So for me, I'm not too much worried, but it's a great information you bring this, because I talk about this, right? They are number 1 on 4 different categories about offensive side. The only thing happening, like you said, they cannot score yet. But you won't be back to normal. You cannot go like this for 45 games, right? You're absolutely right about that, and I agree with you. And that's the mention like earlier. I believe Toronto is going to be at some point, they're going to turn around everything back normal.
Yeah, I think the Leafs will start tonight, and they're going to win 4-1.
4-1. I go with Leaf, and someone said 5-2, and he read my mind. Yamo read my mind. I go 5-2 also about that one over there. Vegas Dallas. Vegas played the best game on my eyes yesterday on the 4th check. A goal on the PK. Just give you an idea. Sometimes we go make a goal on PK. Turn around sometimes, not only the team, but the belief and the confidence. And that's the reason I believe they beat Colorado yesterday. Great goal of Riley Smith on PK yesterday. Good performance on, again, the Leonard. And overall, they play as a team together with Colzar and everybody else. Play a good, solid game, I believe, for the Vegas. I'm sure Adam will agree with me. Dallas, the inconsistency of that team. That's the reason they are 3-3-0. And the Vegas, unfortunately, you know what I mean, But Brossois is confirmed versus Kudobin are confirmed. What your expectation? Jacob Robinson back in the lineup.
Yeah, and that should help Dallas. I mean, the fact that Vegas pulled off a great game last night, and now they're on a back-to-back, unfortunately, and they're putting in their backup goalie. It doesn't look good, but I mean, Dallas, you just never know from night to night. Like they're so inconsistent. When you expect them to lose, they win. When you expect them to win, their big boys never show up. Like you said, if with Robertson in the lineup now, it might help to steady out the lines a little bit more, and I expect them to eventually start scoring more. But they seem to me, they appear a team that if they can get a 1-0 lead, they're happy, and they don't push for that second or that third goal. But I'm going to take Dallas tonight. I think that they will win, and I think just Vegas put out everything on the line last night. I'm going to take them to win 4-0.
Yamo said 4-3 Dallas against Vegas and OT. That's Yamo. Be honest with you, Adam, the only reason I go with Dallas tonight because it's a back-to-back game for Vegas. They also go the backup goaltender number 2. That's under hard. It's hard for a backup number 2. You have to pick it up. All those games like this, it's not easy. That's his first game of the year, honestly. And I just feel like it's too much for Vegas at that moment. And Dallas play home. Dallas rest for a couple of days. So I just feel that all the advantage favorite the Dallas at that moment. Last game of the night, big game. Philadelphia play only 4 games like Boston. 2-1-1. They score a lot of goals for 4 games only. Edmonton is on the mission to go to play on Saturn. They're just on fire. McDavid, Dressel, Bichujavi, Zeman, RNH, RHN, and they are all the way. We know Koskinen is start. Carter Hart start. Not confirmed, but likely. What your expectation? Not much on the roster, be honest with you. Ryan Ellis was out still this morning, so that'll be one of them out.
And like you said, Koskinen is back in the nets. Like Edmonton's been doing this with Koskinen in net instead of Smith, and that's pretty amazing. Like you look at McDavid and what he's done so far. He's got 6 goals, 13 points. Like he's currently at about a 200 and I think about 210, 212 point pace. Now, of course, he's not going to. I don't think he'll achieve that. But when we talk about 150, definitely seems possible, and it seems like he's made that his mission this year, especially with secondary help. And I don't think Kelly's here tonight with us, but she's always making the good point that the Leafs miss Hyman. Well, guess who benefited the most?
Yep.
And that's Edmonton. You talk about a guy that fits in perfectly. This guy, he retrieves the puck. He can score. He screens goalies. He goes to the hard places. He issues body checks, and he really is very attentive to his defensive responsibilities as well. So that was a huge pickup for them, and it allows them to split up sometimes Draisaitl with McDavid, that they don't always have to play together. So Philadelphia, the key thing here, just the other day, yesterday actually, I was looking at the standings, and I don't know if you noticed, Coach, in the Metropolitan Division, if you look at whoever's in last there, they're all above 500.
Yep.
They've all gotten off to great starts. When we thought that
at that moment in our tap,
might come out.
At that moment in our tap, 5 teams on the Metropolitan make the playoff, and only 3 is going to go on that Atlantic Division.
That's right. And who is that third team? We come back to the Boston versus Toronto, because I don't think Tampa and Florida will have a problem, but it's going to be between those 2 teams. Hart's gotten off to a great start for them, but I think this will be a tough one for Philadelphia. I think they'll play a good game, but Edmonton will come out 4-3.
Edmonton 5-3 on that one over there. We have a Yamo set 4-3, but I like 3-1 Vallejo. I like the score. I think could be something like that also, but I go 5-3 tonight. See you, buddy. Buddy Monkey, we're going to be live. I'm doing a live stream for the Florida Panthers. Alan Barnett said, I am with Yamo. Do you think Sakic will make a bold move in Colorado? Yes. Yes, he will. But I don't know when, but it will happen over there. They need to find a way. Salary cap is a problem over there, but they will have to go that direction for sure. They cannot hanging there. They miss a lot right now, Dustin Dose, and now Samuel Girard at that moment. So it'll be interesting to see that. Let's conclude everything on that. We have about 3-4 minutes, so let's move on to the next thing to do. Let's go with the fantasy forward for tonight, your defenseman and goaltender.
Okay, goaltender, I took Anton Kubodin from Dallas. And defense, John Carlson and Morgan Riley. And the forwards, Austin Matthews, Connor McDavid, and Leon Draisaitl.
Great pick. It's all my player you pick, so honestly, but I'll let you go. I go with Koskinen anyway and Edmonton. I believe Aaron Ekblad is going to get a little bit point tonight, and Mikko Eskinen have a good year so far, 6-7 points. But again, you talk always about Tressard, McDavid, and Hyman. That's the wild card for the Edmonton right now. It's him. I think he's doing an amazing, great job over there. Coach at Bronswa, yes, I have him, honestly. Barkov tonight with Ovechkin is going to be my 3 forward. I think that would be the right one to go there, honestly. And like we do at the end of the show, we give you sometimes some people are hot and cold. And tonight, I focus on the goaltender. If you play fantasy FanDuel or something like that, and the team's doing well, of course, the goaltender is looking great also. Max Strom, Calgary, last 4 W on the road. Koskinen doing well because Mike Smith is out, lost his last 2 games over there. Probuski is doing well with the Florida Panthers. Whatever, he gave a couple of goals, 3 against Arizona. Not Arizona, but he gave a couple of goals before that. Bennington and St. Louis, he have an amazing, great start. 4 of the 5 W they have. And Cam Talbot in Minnesota is doing well. Did not last in the beginning of the year. And Enortap, who is cold, of course, Fleury. Tamko struggled a little bit with Vancouver. Campbell with Toronto. Yeah, but coach, yeah, because honestly, the team does not win the last couple of games. He should have a better stat. Tonight, he will win maybe. Quamper does not well with Colorado overall. And Robin Leonard, why? Because it's not because his performance is only like 2.60, I believe. But, at the end of the day, you have to win to become hot or to become this. It's not only his fault, but I put him about that one over there. So one I forgot on the hot side, it was Sorokin. But I go with 5, so I can go add also Sorokin. So I just want to share with you guys the situation for the fantasy hockey. Maybe that will help you if you play the game, everything like that. So we just want to share with you. And before we leave, we talk about Bonamaki is gone. Coach Brossois, Yamo, I got all your score. If Toronto lose tonight, I don't know. If Toronto lose tonight, I don't know what happened in Toronto. I don't know I cannot imagine Toronto lose tonight. It's impossible. I don't see that at all. It would be just crazy if everybody lost tonight. Leonard is hot. Adam said he played well. Only problem, Adam, he did not get the W, and that's the reason we put him on the cold side, because he don't get a W. And the fantasy hockey, if you don't get a W, you're on the wrong side. So that's the reason he's a cold. But again, a goal average is not too bad. Save percentage is not too bad. I agree with you about that one over there. See you, Vallejo. Don't forget, we'll be back in 1 hour. I'm going to do the game between the Boston and the Florida Panthers. There will be a sea of jersey on the ice. Adam said about the Toronto Maple Leafs. I agree with you. Roger said 6-2 Edmonton. Roger, I got it, buddy. Great time, right, to tell us this. I'm just sure 6 goals against Philadelphia, but you got it, buddy. Thank you so much. Johnny Golden, up to 850 on that video talking about the Chicago, I believe, about that one over there. So, Enortap, last word of the show. Big game coach, John Gregor, Boston Bruins. Thank you, John, to join us tonight. You mute, because I put you mute. Sorry about that. It's because when we shifting,
problem.
I'm sorry, when we shift the graphic and I put something over. So anyway, I apologize for that.
No, I'm just saying there's a couple of very interesting tilts.
I'm sure what you said
for
was not
tonight.
good enough for the people here, but now you have a chance to restart over.
Redeem myself. Okay, it's okay. I was just saying how great the Montreal Canadiens were, but we'll leave that one alone. Yeah, there's a couple of very interesting games tonight that I'm looking forward to seeing. I think when you look at that Toronto game, there's more to lose for Toronto in this game than there is for Chicago to lose. I agree with you. I don't know. I don't know what Toronto will do. I don't know if they lose this game, where they go, because I expect that they'll turn things around. But the question is when and why are they going through this prolonged drought right now?
I agree with you about that. For me, it's Florida Panthers, Boston, Toronto, only for the outcome. I don't want to watch the game, but the outcome of the game. And then I like to watch the Philadelphia and Edmonton. So that will be happening for me tonight. That was the 3 game. But before we leave, Enortap,
You are awesome. You are amazing. You are the best. And remember, you have greatness inside of you.
thank you so much, everybody. We look forward to see you next
Coach.
time. Enortap, always a pleasure to having you. Thanks again for your collaboration. And we are very grateful to see you every single night with the warm-up show. Have an amazing, great night, everybody. Be sure we back in 55 minutes. We're going to jump back for the Florida Panthers again, the Boston Bruins. Good night, buddy.
Good night.
What's going on now? Is this another breakdown? You and me, should I let go?
You're welcome,
I
Yamo.
never really want to
Yes,
know.
Alan.
What's going on now? Is this another breakdown? You and me, should I say slow? We're just putting on a show. Come on, get a grip now of all the ways we parted. You showed me
Bowling.
no way we would stand and we would fall united. Come on, get a grip now. Just finish what you started. Don't like the feeling that I've been fooled, deceived, and so misguided.